The U.S. Central Command CENTCOM is broadening its rapidly evolving approach to one-way attack, OWA drones, with the establishment of a new task force. On August 13th, CENTCOM announced the formation of Task Force Falcon Strike, which will bring together unmanned systems capable of operating in the air, on the surface of the sea, and also underwater. The move comes just 9 months after CENTCOM created Task Force Scorpion Strike, the U.S. military's first dedicated OWA drone unit in the Middle East. The establishment of Falcon Strike therefore represents a significant expansion of CENTCOM's unmanned warfare architecture, both in terms of scale and operational domains. This development warrants closer examination, particularly because it could provide important insights into how the U.S. military intends to employ relatively low-cost autonomous and semi-autonomous systems across the region. Before we proceed, a word on NordVPN, which is one of the most trusted and fastest VPN brand that has a no-log policy validated by Deloitte. NordVPN provides a 256-bit encrypted tunnel that protects your privacy and also enables you to access contents that are blocked based on geolocation. Its threat protection system helps you avoid phishing, scams, and malware. NordVPN application is available for all the major platforms as well as browsers. Get an exclusive NordVPN deal with massive saving by going to nordvpn.com/defense or clicking the link in the description. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Established in December 2025, Task Force Scorpion Strike was created to accelerate the integration of OWA drones into U.S. military operations across the Middle East. Its primary objective was to provide warfighters with rapidly deployable, cost-effective unmanned systems capable of delivering useful combat effects without the expense and complexity associated with conventional platforms. Among the systems evaluated and employed by the task force was the low-cost unmanned combat attack system, LUCAS, a Shahed-style one-way attack drone designed around a relatively low-cost architecture. One of the task force's early operational milestones came soon after its formation, when a LUCAS system was successfully launched from a U.S. Navy warship, demonstrating the potential to deploy such unmanned strike capabilities from maritime platforms. Developed by Spectre Works of Arizona, LUCAS was conceived as a low-cost yet highly adaptable unmanned strike platform capable of supporting a broad range of operational requirements. The system incorporates a lightweight, low-signature airframe designed to balance speed, maneuverability, and survivability in contested environments. Powered by a 2-cylinder DA-215 engine, the 86 kilograms, 190 pounds drone can reach speeds of up to 120 miles per hour, 195 kilometers per hour, and possesses an operational range of roughly 800 kilometers, 500 miles, enabling it to conduct long-range strike missions against targets deep within hostile territory. LUCAS has been used against Iran by CENTCOM on multiple occasions. The scope of Task Force Scorpion Strike subsequently expanded beyond airborne platforms to incorporate unmanned surface vessels, USVs, reflecting a broader shift toward multi-domain unmanned operations. In July, these systems were employed in attacks against port infrastructure along Iran's coastline. The precision strike involved the synchronized deployment of 3 Corsair USVs developed by the autonomous maritime technology firm Saronic. These 24-foot-long, low-profile vessels are explicitly engineered for high-speed, stealthy operations in heavily contested waters. Driven by advanced autonomous software and robust satellite telemetry, the Corsairs navigated hostile coastal waters without direct human steering, minimizing both radar and visual cross-sections. Traveling at speeds approaching 40 miles per hour, the explosive-laden sea drones successfully bypassed localized electronic warfare countermeasures and physical harbor booms to infiltrate the inner perimeter of the Iranian port. The primary objective of the raid was a specialized submarine and ship maintenance facility tucked inside the base infrastructure. All 3 USVs successfully impacted their designated targets, detonating their payloads with devastating precision. Secondary explosions were reported shortly after impact. Subsequent satellite imagery and intelligence assessments confirmed severe structural degradation to the facility's dry docks, repair slips, and engineering support workshops. The damage effectively bottlenecked Iran's localized naval repair and deployment capabilities for its littoral fleet. CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper said, Task Force Falcon Strike will expand on Scorpion Strike's success, given the tremendous innovation happening among our regional allies and partners. Integrating and deploying our new capabilities together will help us rapidly realize the new possibilities that are on the horizon. U.S. Special Operations Command Central, which was involved in establishing Scorpion Strike, will now lead Falcon Strike. Falcon Strike has two differentiating aspects. CENTCOM's description of Task Force Falcon Strike is particularly noteworthy. The command stated that the task force will employ one-way attack capabilities across multiple domains, using unmanned systems operating from above, on, and below the sea. The first two domains, airborne and surface-based systems, have already been demonstrated and examined in the context of Scorpion Strike's operations. The underwater component, however, remains less clear. At present, it is uncertain whether Falcon Strike will immediately deploy an existing U.S. underwater unmanned attack system or whether the capability is still under development. Another major distinction between Task Force Falcon Strike and its predecessor, Task Force Scorpion Strike, is the emphasis on regional partner participation. CENTCOM has stated that it has begun consultations with countries across the region and is formally inviting selected nations to join the initiative. However, the command has yet to disclose which countries have been approached or agreed to participate. This partner-based model could significantly expand the task force's capabilities. Several U.S. allies and partners in the Middle East have developed or acquired indigenous unmanned systems, including platforms designed for different operational environments. Integrating these capabilities into a broader multinational framework could give CENTCOM access to a more diverse pool of unmanned platforms while also leveraging the operational knowledge and regional expertise of partner forces. The precise organizational structure of Falcon Strike has yet to be revealed, including whether participating nations would employ common U.S.-supplied systems or retain their own platforms. One possibility is that the task force could ultimately function as an umbrella framework, bringing together different national unmanned systems under a shared operational concept and enabling them to operate as part of a coordinated multi-domain force. CENTCOM said, as regional partners formally join, Task Force Falcon Strike will scale attack drone capabilities across the Middle East into a unified multi-domain, multinational deterrent. The rise of OWA systems, commonly described as kamikaze or suicide drones, has become one of the most consequential developments in modern warfare. These relatively inexpensive unmanned weapons provide a strike capability that occupies an important space between conventional artillery and high-end precision-guided missiles. The Russia-Ukraine conflict has been particularly significant in accelerating their development and employment, transforming OWA systems from a niche capability into an important component of both tactical and strategic operations. One of the clearest advantages of OWA systems is their favorable cost-exchange ratio. Advanced air defense interceptors can cost hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars per engagement, while many OWA drones can be produced and deployed at a fraction of that cost. Repeatedly using expensive interceptors against comparatively inexpensive incoming drones can therefore place considerable financial and logistical pressure on the defender. Russian employment of the Shahed family and Ukraine's growing fleet of domestically produced one-way attack drones have demonstrated how such systems can extend strike operations well beyond the immediate battlefield. Their relatively low production costs also make OWA systems well-suited to mass employment. Large numbers can be launched simultaneously, forcing air defense networks to detect, track, prioritize, and engage multiple targets at once. Such attacks can strain both interceptor inventories and the capacity of command and control networks, particularly when drones are combined with other types of missiles or decoys. The experience of the Russia-Ukraine war has therefore demonstrated that OWA systems are not simply another category of unmanned aircraft. They are influencing how modern militaries think about strike capacity, air defense, ammunition expenditure, and force sustainability. Against this backdrop, the creation of Task Force Falcon Strike appears strategically significant. A dedicated multi-domain organization could allow the United States and its regional partners to develop more effective methods for countering these systems while simultaneously exploring how similar low-cost unmanned capabilities can be integrated into their own offensive operations. Falcon Strike could ultimately become an important testbed for a broader concept of warfare in which large numbers of relatively inexpensive autonomous systems complement, and in some cases substitute for, more sophisticated and costly weapons.